Um, I'm here to talk about something that really bothers me. Like, this really, really bothers me. When people do this, I'm like, oh my god, I want to, like, strangle you. Alright, let me calm down. Okay, so, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was the fact that people, when they ask me for advice, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and then they don't do it, I'm like, alright. Like, that's my initial reaction. But then maybe I'm like, alright, maybe they have, like, maybe they compromised something, or maybe just something happened whilst I didn't know about it, something like that. But if it's like, you're asking me for the same fucking advice, and you don't fucking follow through every single time, then I'm gonna get pissed. Okay, so, I know this one girl, and I'm, in the cahoots with her, I'm pretty close. And she has this problem with her boyfriend. Like, they're always, like, breaking up and getting back together, breaking up, getting fucking back together, and it's, like, the same fucking process. Like, oh my god, like, she's always like, oh my god, he's such a fucking dick, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, just break up with him. Like, it's not worth your time and your effort. And girl, if you're watching this, don't be offended, because, like, I've told you so many times and you wouldn't listen to me, so this is, like, my last resort. Like, bitch, listen, okay. And, like, every single time she's like, oh, he's such a fucking dick, and then they break up, and she's, like, really sad for a while. She's like, oh, I need a guy to get over him. I'm like, girl, you shouldn't rebound just so that you can get over him. She's like, okay, I won't do it. And she followed my advice for that one. But then, like, 2 days later, she's fucking back together with him. I'm like, what in the hell? What in the Jesus? So I just, like, gave up on, like, their relationship. She's like, oh, like, he's being really sweet to me again, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, not this again. And then, like, a week later, they're gonna, like, break up and shit, and, like, ugh, it's so fucking complicated. Like, I cannot process, like, my brain cannot process their relationship. And, like, no, it's, like, and it's not even just this one girl. Like, when these people, okay, guys don't really come to me for advice, because I'm really awkward, like, dealing with guy advice, because, but with girls, and, like, the girls and their guys problem, like, girl, like, I got you, I got your back, alright? And it's like, okay, so this girl, like, these girls, like, they're like, Jenny, oh my god, I need advice, can you help me? I'm like, alright, I'll do it, I got you, I'll give you what you need, like, I'll be brutally honest, because that's who I am. I'm very honest, like, if you come running up to me and asking me what I really think, then I'll be like, yeah, I'll give you what you don't want to hear. And that's why a lot of people tend to, like, not like me for that, because I give them what they need to hear. Like, I'm very real. I'm very honest. Okay, because that's anyone my friends, know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, but then a lot of people, benefit from that. I think that if you sugarcoat everything, then it's not going to really work out. Like, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and if you follow it, like, 90% of the time it works out. 10% of the time it doesn't really work out, but whatever. Like, person's got to make their own mistakes, you know what I mean? So, when these girls come up to me asking me for advice, I'm like, alright, I'll give it to you. And then when I give it to them, some of them are like, I'm not going to follow it. I'm like, I respect that, because, like, I gave you the time, and if you don't like it, then that's fine. But if these girls are like, oh my god, Jenny, I totally love your advice, and then they're like, oh my god, I'll follow it, and they don't follow through, I'm like, why did I just waste my time, like, giving you advice if you're not even going to follow it? If you told me that you were going to follow it, then, like, you should follow it, because that's what I do with people's advice. Like, I'm not very good at making decisions, so when I ask my friends for advice, I usually, like, process it in my mind, and I either tell them on the spot, oh, I'll do it, or I won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if girls are like, oh my god, I'm totally gonna do it, the next day, they're either, like, hooking up with a guy they know they shouldn't be, or they're, like, having a sex, or they're doing something really irrelevant, and, like, will totally screw up their lives. I'm like, ugh. Oh, God, like, please, just kill me, because, like, you asked me for advice, and yet you went ahead and did the thing that would be worse for you. Like, really? Is that really necessary? Like, really? Really? Like, girl. Like, look at what you're doing. Like, really? You're stupid. But only, like, 1 out of 10 people do that, so it's not, like, a really big thing, but it still happens, pretty often, like 10% of the time people don't follow my advice, and I give pretty good advice. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but that means advice. Okay, oh yeah, so funny story, so I've been like, okay, so yesterday, My mom and I in the morning are very busy people because A, my mom wakes up late all the fucking time, and B, I like to sleep. Like, when I'm in bed and my alarm goes off, I'm like, motherfuck. And then, like, I turn that shit off, I lay in bed for, like, 10 minutes, but, like, I have this growing sense of, like, paranoia that I'm gonna be late for school, so, like, I go to the bathroom and take a shower and shit. And that's that. And then I make breakfast, and then while breakfast is, like, cooking or whatever, or the toaster's, like, doing its toasting crap, I go to sleep. And then when I hear the tick, 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 I'm like, alright, it's time for me to go put some jam or, like, put some milk or whatever. And I do all that. I do my normal morning routine, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yesterday, my mom, like, woke up super late. So, A, I was too lazy to shower, so I didn't even take a shower. And B, I just kept sleeping. Like, I just kept sleeping. Like, sleeping is what I do best. Sleeping and eating. And talking. And laughing. Like, those 4 things, I know I can do well. Anyway, so I was sleeping, and it was like 6:50. I have to get to school by 7:55. 7:50? Yeah. Anyway. Whatever, I woke up at 6:50, washed my face, all that shit, you know, toasted some bread, and, like, waiting for it to dry, and the next thing I know, it's like 7:20, and I leave the house at, like, 7:30, but usually we leave at 7:40, and I get to school at 7:50, and it's like, it's crazy. Okay, but yesterday, it was 7:20, and then I was like, alright, let me eat my breakfast. It was like 7:30, I was like, holy shit, so I put on my clothes, and, like, I turned on my straightener to straighten my hair, and my mom's like, get your ass out of the house, like, we need to go. It was like 7:40, I was like, oh, fuck. So I, like, ran out of the house, and my mom was, like, driving me to school, and I walked into the school building, and, like, I got this feeling. I was like, what is this feeling, right? And then I walk into my first period classroom, and I'm sitting down, you know, doing my work, like, do-do-do, and then it hits me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot to turn my straightener off. I was like, shit, fuck, what do I do? Oh my god, I was, like, freaking out, right? So, like, my first period ends, I'm like, okay, breathe, just breathe. Like, let's think about what I could do. I could go back home, but I have second period. So, second period is my choir period, and my choir teacher is pretty chill, so I asked her, I was like, oh my god, can I please go back home? Like, can I please go back home? She's like, why? I think I left my straightener on. She's like, oh my god, Jenny, okay, go to the office and sign out. Let's see what they can do. And then I was like, oh my god, can I please sign out? Can I please, please, please? They're like, why? It's like, oh my god, I think I left my hair straightener on, and I have this fear that maybe my house is on fire, and I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, alright, just go. Just make sure to come back in like 40 minutes, like before the period ends. I was like, alright, thank you. So I run back home, and what do you know? The hair straightener's on. But, luckily, my house was not on fire, which is great. You know, but because I had gone through so much, like, pressure and, like, all these, like, emotions, I really needed to poop. So what did I do? I took a crap in the toilet and, you know, got some, like, you know, marshmallow bars? I don't know. I had, like, something delicious, and I went back to school, and, you know, things were all good. Like, all good in the hood. Sorry. I don't have my glasses on right now, or contacts, so I'm trying to see, like, how long this has been. So, yeah, that was my little rant and a little random story, and more of these will come, so keep watching. Bye!